Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
We're back at you, Gloves Off. I'm Paul Buitron. I'm here with Priscilla Pantoja, and we're just touching base on 2021. How we doing?
Good. Ready for a brand new year. Working really hard. Just trying to help our community recover from this, and just get past this.
It's sad because last year it's a very hard year for everybody.
Right.
We had way too many people that unfortunately the pandemic hit home and took many of our loved ones, and we grieve. My sincere heart goes out and help. It goes out to everybody, and I know what it is to lose somebody that you love. But this year it's changing. It's still with us, and it's something that we need to understand that we all have to learn how to live with it and learn how to live responsibly, right? With it.
Absolutely, yes. I too lost. I lost two loved ones this past year, and so definitely it's been emotionally, physically draining. For a lot of people, it's taking a toll. That COVID fatigue, but it's important. It's important to remain positive. With a positive mindset, and just believing and just knowing that we can and we will get through this. This experience will only make us stronger. But like you said, it's going to take a collective effort to get our community to get through this. It's not one single person that can, that has the right answer. No, it's about everybody doing their part. Whatever it is that you can contribute to help stop this, do it. If all you can do is stay home or wear a mask, that's what we need to do. Each one of us needs to do. I know the numbers are just crazy right now. That message that we received from the city it's quite alarming, but it's important for people to know what the current situation is. And actually I'm glad, because for once I see the city being so forthcoming with information, and I think that's what the community respects and understands. In fact, I've seen a lot of our community members actually suggesting or just promoting the wearing of masks, stay home. Like, let's it's not up to our administration or our leaders to help us get past this. It's us as a community. We are Laredo, and so if we work together, work with one another to be able to stop the numbers from going up, we will do it. We'll make it happen. But I think there's just, the tensions are so high right now, and everybody just they're tired. We're playing the blame game right now, and I think it's time that we just take a step back and just breathe, just remain positive, and just think about what we can do, and moving forward. So yeah,
you are correct. We all need to unite. We need to separate. We have to understand and separate the municipality of Laredo, the governing body, the people that are inside directing, and so on and so forth, to we are Laredo.
Exactly.
And we meaning you, me, everybody around here. Those are the ones that the community of Laredo is going to lead Laredo forward.
Absolutely.
Because right now, literally, I've lost faith in our city government, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. they're kind of bickering amongst each other, going in circles, and granted, they might say, "Oh, you're not in this position. You're not here to see it." Yes, but we've been in fights before, and that's where you get tested, and you know who's who. And unfortunately, right now, the faith has come of age, and people have lost it. I understand, and I saw the message, and the message is very, very frightening because it's basically telling people like, this is going on, it's an alert. But I also want the city to also put up there about the opiates abuse, about the drug abuse. I want them to start putting those messages out there. You know what? We have a influx of heroin right now,
Right.
and let's keep vigilant. Let's push it if you see it sitting, and warn them too.
Yes.
Not just of this. Warn them about everything else, because those take more lives as well.
Right.
And nothing against COVID, nothing against how can I say the virus or something, because it's hit home. My kids and my ex have it, and they're going through it right now, and they're doing fine, and they're in prayers, and everybody, and I know many others that are in that predicament. It is here,
Right.
but but we need to start. We as the community need to start united with each other, or else we're gonna lose it.
I'm so sorry. No, you're right. You're right. And just recently I saw an article about a local business who's I'm not sure how they're going to make this selection, but they are willing to do a complete makeover for any other local business. And so those are the things, that really make me proud of our community. Because like you said, we are Laredo. We can help one another, and, we need to let our trades help others. And and that is what's going to help us rise above this pandemic, and not only through the illness, but, through the devastation that our small businesses are going through. I think that we, as a community, can help one another. We don't have to rely necessarily on, the leadership at this point. But yes, like I mentioned, it's obviously not something that, or it's not something good, that message that we received. But like I said, at the very least, it was very forthcoming of the city. And like you said, that, not just that information, all information on everything that's going on needs to be, that we need to use the same practice. We need to do the same practice, and just keeping our community informed.
Absolutely. And I've seen a lot of the work that you've been doing, especially with small businesses and some other organizations that you're involved in. What is a project right now that has you and says, you know what, this is what I have to come clean within the next couple of months?
Well, aside from work and family and just learning ways, and how to adapt through this pandemic, I've always been an active member of many local nonprofit organizations,
Sure.
And that's what I'm jumping back into. I'm a member of the Boys and Girls Club of Laredo and the Daybreak Rotary. I've been appointed to numerous leadership roles with the Women's City Club, with the Pink to Do Breast Cancer Awareness Association, and so all of that is going to keep me extremely busy. Just this week, the Women's City Club normally awards over $200,000 in grants to local nonprofits. And, despite the pandemic and the challenges that we have faced as an organization, this past Thursday we were able to award over $150,000 to local nonprofits, to both school districts. We actually do the Pennies for Tennies, which allows us, the nurses at the different elementary schools, to give students who they see they have the need for tennis shoes and
Sure.
for eyeglasses. We also we have a partnership with TAMU with the nursing program. There's a scholarship that Women's City Club contributes to. And so, just like and not too long ago, we had the golf tournament that we did to raise funds for the Pink to Do Breast Cancer Awareness Association. And so, we can't stop. We just have to adapt. And so that's the challenge that we have faced as nonprofit organizations, and it's to, transform the way we conduct business and just to be innovative. If there's anything that this pandemic has done, it's pushed us to become more creative in the way that we serve our community. And so, that's pretty much what's going to keep us really active. I'd be remiss not to mention that I'm the president of the LULAC Mujeres Poderosas Council. I'm the District 14 Deputy Director for LULAC as well. So there's a lot of things to get done. Each and every one of those organizations it gives back to the community, and so it's really important to me to make sure that we're successful in meeting our organizational goals with each and every one of those organizations, and so that's what I've been busy with.
Well, that's wonderful. I saw that mural you all did.
Oh yes, it's beautiful.
That's a great,
very symbolic.
Exactly, that mural that you all did is something to understand and to see how it was put together. And it takes
in
time.
Hours.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people take months, and you guys just, it's going to be done, and explain that.
And so yes, oh my God. So actually, Mujeres Poderosas was formed this past March. We're about to have have a year that we've been active. It was just when the pandemic started that we received our certificate of our charter.
Our charter.
And and that's fortunately it was in June, July that this whole situation in Fort Hood happened with Vanessa Guillen, and so immediately we felt a need to address what was going on, because we actually had a lot of our members of our community reaching out to us and telling us how it had hit home. We had a lot of service members or veterans that had children that were talking about how disheartening it was to them, being that they had served, and that they had children that are looking forward to serve as well, but they were like, how can we promote or encourage them to do so when we know that this is going on?
Absolutely.
And so that prompted us to do a procession in solidarity with her family, with Vanessa Guillen's family. And in addition to that, we ended the procession through the Ladriera area, where we had a mural painted by a local artist. But oh my God, the story behind that is crazy. So, normally it takes a permit process to go through with the city. We put all this together in 5 days, but the actual permit for the mural, we got it Friday, and this event was taking place Saturday morning at 9:00. I'll never forget, we met up with Abel Gonzalez, the artist, and he was just looking at us like, so you want me to get this done overnight, in the dark, in the heat, and have it ready by 9:00 this morning? And we just kind of looked at him and we're like, yes. And he is, he's just such an amazing guy. He's like, challenge accepted. And so sure enough, he got the job done, and oh my God, it was beautiful. And I'll never forget that morning. We told him to say a few words at the ceremony, and he's like, I don't know what to say. And I said, you know what? Let me ask you something. What did you feel, or what were you thinking while you painted her? Because it's beautiful. You could see the sadness in her eyes in that mural. And he said, I actually felt like she was guiding my paintbrush. And I was like, oh my God, that gave me chills. That almost brought tears to my eyes. And so definitely that has, been something that has kept us going, and just never think that something is impossible. It's possible if you put your mind to it. And so yeah, in 5 days we put all that event together, and the mural was done in just a few hours.
Yeah,
just 12 hours.
It's a beautiful piece of work. It's a beautiful, and it's sad that not only the city of Fort Hood, but also our military turned their backs on all those that got lost.
Well, yeah, and
and
that's
they're
what
still turning their back, apparently.
and that's what this mural symbolizes. It symbolizes the fact that we're not going to stay quiet. She's not here with us anymore, but we are going to continue to advocate for our military members. I mean, these are American lives our children who are, taking an oath to protect our country. The very least we can do is protect them.
Absolutely.
And, that we were actually, after that, we were invited to speak to the Secretary of the Army. And just recently they put out, what the investigation came out with. But yeah, unfortunately, there's still, a lot that's going on, and just horrible things that are being discovered. But I mean, we hope that it continues to just get better. But it's gonna take us not being quiet and just having our voices heard. But what I really took from that event was just seeing how it was not only the community that has really nothing to do with the military families, and military families coming together. Like we're one community, and we're all Americans. It's important to all of us that this gets resolved, and so that was a great opportunity to show that the importance of unity.
Absolutely, and that story touches everybody. I have 2 daughters. I have sisters. I have cousins. You understand what I'm saying? I have friends. Something happens to a friend, we're gonna lose. Mm-hmm. And it's like the girl that's being forgotten, the one that was just murdered last year here, and it's being forgotten, and everybody's turning their backs on it. And maybe we can come together and do one for her. Absolutely. Because here Laredo needs that. We can't forget anybody.
Exactly.
And those that are supposed to be protecting us are turning their backs, and that cannot happen.
Absolutely.
Not in our watch. The bell has not rung yet.
No, absolutely not. It's important for us to let one another know that we're there for each other.
Sure.
In March, our very, very first, project as a group was when the first, I don't know if you remember, when the first COVID victim was identified and actually bashed on Facebook. It was horrible. So immediately we got together and we said, oh my God, it was a woman. So we were like, it's important for us to let her know that there's a group of women here that were with her, and we support her. And it's sad that she had to go through that, but we need to let her know that she's not alone. So overnight, no joke, the members of the organization and some of our awesome supporters, we put together over $1,000, and we were able to get in contact with her, and so then immediately the next day we went to deliver that. It was a little something, but more than anything, it was just to send her a message: you're not alone. Absolutely. And there's a group of women here, fellow Laredo women that support you and that want to help you, and then just if you need anything, let us know. And so that's our mission, letting just promoting the empowerment of one another and the uplifting of one another, whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
It's important as Laredoans to support one another. The other big project that I've had the opportunity to be a part of, I know that you did a show with Jessica Olivares over the COVID support group.
Sure, that's a good group.
Oh my God, that group, you know, at the beginning, she called me that night and she told me, "Oh my God, we have to do something. We have to give people a platform in which they can ask questions, and you know, we can give them the information, or we can just make sure that they get the information from the proper authorities of what's going on and what they need to do." I was obviously a little bit hesitant because I understood the responsibility that came with that. But she, you know, sure enough, she went on to do it, and after 2-3 days, it was like thousands and thousands of, requests and questions, and she's like, "Please help me." And so, since the beginning, we've been able to help moderate. I've been able to help moderate the group, and it's just been such a humbling experience to see Laredoans helping Laredoans. I mean, you go on there and ask a question, you will have 50 comments, 50 suggestions, recommendations. You will get help. And, you know, I think that that's something that as a community we've been lacking. Hopefully, you know, once we get past this, because we will, we can learn, we're going to be able to identify where we're lacking, and hopefully work on more platforms, you know, similar to that, to be able to help one another.
I think what happens is that people got relaxed, they got complacent, and we realized, especially those that have small businesses, what we've always realized: our government is not our nanny.
Right.
They're not our nanny. You know, there needs to be checks and balances.
Right.
You know, they have not been held accountable for. So now you start seeing the people that are with the small businesses and caring with one another are going to lift up the others. Why? Because they know nobody else is going to come for help. They've been doing it by themselves. They've been going forward by themselves. Now they understand that there's others, and that unity is going to come in.
Yes. I mean, we're not on automatic. And that's what I think that as a community we need to just keep in mind. Things are not, you know, we criticize a lot of the city staff. I'm talking about the
Sure.
the workforce, not necessarily the leadership. And you know, they too are Laredoans. They too are going through the struggle. They too are in fear. They too are undergoing that COVID fatigue. And so we need to, I think, be just a little bit more patient. I know that the health department recently did another COVID immunization drive, which, you know, they got really good reviews. I know that the first one didn't go so well, but this last one, they're doing their best. And I think that as a community, we need to just be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more patient. Everything can always be done better, but again, we're one community. We are Laredo, and it's going to be up to us to help uplift those that are out there in the front line facing this virus. You know, I have a lot of who I want to hopefully get on your show. I have a lot of friends who are out there, you know, just fighting this virus on a daily basis, who are just so exhausted. And you know, those are the people that we as a community need to help uplift and just keep motivating them and just keep them going, because at this point it's, you know, we need one another more than ever.
Absolutely. You remember, we are Laredo, you
Yes.
know, and that's the way it is. You know, we the people, we are Laredo.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that we need to
start a new hashtag. We are Laredo.
We are Laredo. We'll start it with that.
Absolutely.
We'll open up a page and we'll start We Are Laredo, and we'll move it
let's
forward with
just
people
keep-
that keep doing something for the community.
Right.
You know, and if you know of somebody that does something in the community, we put them there. So and so
yeah.
did this, we'll put them there.
You know, it's in
And it's
times,
open,
it's
you know?
in times of crisis that you're able to assess people's leadership and how they respond, and it's really it really brings out. It can bring out the worst, but it can also bring out the best in people. And I've seen a lot of that. I've seen people who you would have least thought could, you know, take the reins and just make things happen, have risen. You know, these are and sometimes that's what we need. I think a lot of times people identify themselves as leaders and feel that they always have to be the one in control, or they always have to be the ones to come up with the ideas. And it's not like that. Sometimes being a good leader means being a good follower, and being a good motivator. And so, I hope to see that with the new leadership coming in. It's time for teamwork. I think that it's time that we think about the greater good, and we keep our mindset on doing what's best for the community, and not so focused on being the one to come up with a great idea, or being the one to control this or to manage this. Like I said, sometimes being a great leader means being a good follower, a good cheerleader,
A good listener.
A good listener, absolutely.
And you have to, there's an old saying that we use in Sabat, and it says, how can you teach something that you didn't live?
Right.
You can't teach something that you didn't live. You can't say, I did this, when you never did it.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it comes from being tested. You have to test.
Right.
That's being tested. How would you know you're going to be a good leader until you're being tested? They got tested.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully these three that go in there can bring some worth to what was lost. And I hate to say it that way, because I know all of them very personally. I know them all, and some of them are spinning fear. I understand fear, but those butterflies you have to use to go up.
Right.
Butterflies you have in there, you have to go into that fight.
Yeah.
And especially if you have people behind you listening to you, you can just fall apart and start demanding everything, and that takes different, because that's not what's going to happen. You lose. And right now, the disconnect from Laredo to the city, when the government, city government, is so far-fetched, it's like 90-degree angle. The only thing that connects us is the stuff with COVID. Oh, if it wasn't for that, it would be a total different entity.
Right.
They'll be further apart.
Right.
And so the only thing that's connecting them right now is this pandemic, COVID.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So right now, how can those that were elected kind of influx their position over everything by setting mandates and doing this and commanding and we understand that. We don't have to be punished, We understand that we're living in a time that we have to be careful. But when the threats come of age, and the threats of closing businesses, what do you want? You're not going to have a city to lead.
I think, and in my experience, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think that if these, new council members keep that in mind, and just always let the people know how they genuinely care about what happens to them, to their families, what happens to their businesses, I think that the community will be a lot more receptive to what they have to bring to the table. I recently met the new councilman Gutierrez. Oh my God, I did not know there was someone with so much energy, that was coming in. And I'm excited to see how he's going to contribute to the, moving Laredo forward. And I'm sure the other two councilwomen are bringing in great ideas, great energy. I truly wish all three of them the best. I'm excited to see the new dynamic in city council. But like you said, it's important that whatever they implement, when they do it, they, implement it along with a plan that demonstrates how they care about, the people. For instance, I know that it's being contemplated to do a complete shutdown of businesses, and of course, life before anything else. But I would say, what's the plan to help these businesses survive? And so those are the kind of things that hopefully, this new city council will bring. And yeah, like you said, we need to start now thinking how we're going to continue having that connection with the community once we get through this
And that
pandemic.
connection should not be a pandemic. The connection should be, we're bringing this manufacturing company, we're bringing this here. Yes, we're living through this. We're bringing this here. We're stopping drugs. We're stopping. No.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it shouldn't have to be a negative situation to bring us together.
But it's all in all, this 2021 is going to be a year that it's going to be very much the same thing as last year. But you're going to start seeing those that really care are going to be standing up and saying, not today.
Yes.
And we're going to move forward.
Right.
And we're going to be doing it, and we're going to continue moving forward. I tell people this, I'm a mortal man. I'm a free thinker, and there's no mortal that's going to tell me and dictate to me what I'm going to do.
Well,
and you know what I'm saying? So now
you don't need a title to be a leader.
You know what I'm saying? So we all need to stick together and help out the neighbors over here.
Yes.
And you know what? I never used that barbershop before, so I'm going to go use that barbershop next.
Yes.
You know what? That restaurant over there is missing something. I'm going to order lunch next.
Yes.
You know that company over there that does business cards? I'm going to go order my business cards there. They might be $10 more than the one I used to use. I'm going to go use them next. And that's what we have to start doing.
Absolutely, and and that's something that it really that really keeps me, looking forward to to what is coming,
Sure.
and keeps me faithful in what our city will bring, because I don't know of any other community that has the heart that we do. I mean, Laredoans, they outdo themselves, and so exactly what you said, I see a lot of, on social media, I see a lot of Laredoans reaching out to other Laredoans like, hey, you have a business, let me know so that I can help support you, so that I can go and shop with you, and, instead of big corporations or whatever, and so that's what we need to focus on, working together, and I know that we will get through this, and it's
Sure.
going to be like that. It's going to be by remembering that we, as a community, we're Laredo, and
We are Laredo, and that's it. And that's absolutely right. I always, it's a great conversation. Folks, hopefully you guys can come together. If you guys have any business, if you have a small business that needs some advertisement or anything, come on out. Talk about your business. We'll get it out there. Okay? Don't free of charge, because this is my community as well, and this is what we're doing.
How generous of you.
So, you need
that's
something
amazing.
to come out there if you have a small business and you're putting out there maybe wedding dresses or you're a tailor. Come out. Just touch base. Let the community know who you are. And that's
I'm
what
gonna go out there.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna set you up with different local businesses.
That's good.
because
Let's do it.
That's something that I'm sure that they never thought that they could do free of charge, but that's awesome. That
Let's do it. Let's
that
do
is
it.
Laredo. That's us.
And so till next time, you guys be safe. Remember, click the subscribe button on YouTube. We've been hitting a couple of milestones. I guess the COVID just pushed us, and we've been dealing a lot more. We've been doing a little some other things with the channel. We've had one for about 15 years. We basically just dump videos there, and now it just sparked. So it's good.
Let's make 2021 a transformative year.
Absolutely. Until next time, peace.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitron Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our adult classes are geared for producing the best in you, teaching you street-ready techniques. With the arts of Savate and Kinpo, you'll learn the traditions of these sciences of combat, as passed down professor to student.
Hello everybody, my name is Senior Grandmaster Alfredo Bandalan, owner of BDP, Bandalan the Sea Parties. I'd like to say a few words on Grandmaster Buitrón. He's a man of great integrity, a man of great knowledge of martial art. He's a master of Savate, and master of Eskrima. He's a man that can help you to become what you want to be. He's a man that teaches people how to be somebody in life, how to work the world, how to be happy in this world. He's a man that I can say holds many integrity as well as in martial art. But I'd like to say this man has a radio station, does hunting all over the world, and he works with all kind of people, all walks of life. And all I want to say, that Paul Buitrón is a man that can help people to be somebody in life. I'd like to say aloha, thank you.
I am Grandmaster Michael Duran of Original Hurones Criminal Federation here in Vallejo, California. Professor Paul Buitrón is an accomplished martial artist who has developed an understanding that as a caretaker in our martial arts, it is his responsibility to keep the art alive, and in depth, he acknowledged that it is the students that give the art life. I hold his friendship and his continuing accomplishments in the art in the most highest regard. Thank you.
Come train at the Best Kept Secret of Laredo. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868 or check out our website at savat.biz. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook.